Oh, no. Unique New York. The skeleton went upstairs in his pajamas. Hello and welcome to this episode of No Blasters with me, Kieran Bartlett. Before I introduce today's guests, let me tell you a wee something about... I tried to say, tell you a wee something there, and went, let me tell you a wee something about our Patreon, over at patreon.com/No Blasters. Obviously, this is where you get all, like, loads of content every week from us. But one of the things I want to tell you about over there is that we have all the, never mind the mock blames that we've recorded, are there and ready to be watched. We have a fresh one coming up soon. We've got our Majestic Goblin King specials on there. The SSE show is going to be on there soon. Belfast Giant. And we've also got like live streams and all over there and all our live podcasts. It's a great time. Patreon.com/No Blasters. Today's episode is sponsored by the makers of my downfall, Doogie's Goodies. What a sensational! I'm not gonna lie. I opened this wee box a minute ago. This box here that has mint Euro mint muffins and chocolate muffins. And as I'm behaving right now, and I'm pounds down for the year, I'm literally weepy. You're waving a pint under a wino's nose, and then this is the iced layer cake. This is essentially see like if you order like a standard cake off Doogie's Goodies, this is like the standard, but they sell slabs of it in these boxes. You can get these in the shop on Church Street in Ballymena, or you can buy them online, or you can buy them around shops. They're selling these now in some shops in Belfast and around the province. This is unbelievable. This is also available gluten-free.
That would be great with some hot custard.
That, mate, see that with any cake accoutrement, like a custard, a cold custard.
Say custard.
No, but it goes with ice cream and all as well. Cake and ice cream, that's a wee bit old school, a wee bit more American maybe.
Do you heat the cake when you have ice cream with it?
No.
I like the contrast.
See, I worry sometimes. I'm too lazy.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know why? I think that's why people like rare steaks is laziness. These are Biscoff squares. I just spat into that box. These are Biscoff squares. I'm scared of them falling out. And then what happens if they fall out and break on this desk? And then I have to lick a desk. Now, over at doogiesgoodies.com, you can order all these sorts of things. You can make up like customized boxes. You can get like occasion cakes made. You can get them made in the shape of numbers. You can get pictures iced onto them. It's a sensational place. They love us. We love them. Doogie's Goodies. What a time to be alive. Our podcast today is also sponsored by Manscaping.com. Manscaping.com is the absolute 007 of pube assassination. Like, it is the Lee Harvey Oswald of pube removal. I highly recommend using the ball deodorant. I highly recommend using the ball wipes. Sometimes, you've had what I would describe as a greasy afternoon, and you just think, you know what, I don't want to shower just now because I don't want my skin to get all dry, so I'm just gonna reskin the bag, as it were. Beyonce's talking about painting the word pussy pink. I say stain the word ball bag beige, right? Now, what I would say, I'm definitely using that at a gig, by the way. What I would say is, if you go over to manscaped.com, use the code NOBLASTERS20, that's No Blasters, all one word, and then the number 20, all lowercase, whatever. No Blasters 20. You get 20% off and free shipping. I highly recommend the Performance Package, which is like a wee bit of everything really, and it all comes in like a soap bag. But you get like the Lawnmower 5.0, which is like the chief razor of their range. I also highly recommend the Weed Whacker, especially if you are advancing beyond the age of 35 and have somehow, like me, developed ear and nose hair growth that is neither explained nor explainable. So, manscaped.com, use the code NOBLASTERS20. We love them, they love us. I'm going to set this stuff here because I sort of want to look at it. So, today's episode, we are joined by none other than No Blasters Hall of Famer,
alumnus.
The first. I think you and Butler are certainly the two first inductees into the No Blasters Hall of Fame, and we're also joined by No Blasters Virgin and sensational
virgin.
General
pavilion
virgin, yeah,
promoter and
Yeah.
all round comedy fucking sound guy, Luke McGibbon.
I thought you were going to say all-round virgin. I thought you were really
Oh,
double
no.
down,
Yeah.
double down on the virginity aspect of it. you know?
All round virgin.
This guy's a
I
monk.
think we'll find out today that that's not true. But anyway, so
Gonna fuck William by the end of the episode. On camera.
so what's the crack? Anyway, how are you?
Oh, good man. This is killing
Great.
me.
Yeah.
What
Watching them.
Just saying.
Have a
'cause
bun.
I'm trying to be good myself.
are you?
Do you know what
Look at
though?
me.
Do you want a bun?
Isn't yeah?
Have a
you're
bun.
grand, you're
What would
grand.
No,
what
I
would
went
what would
to
you
shit
what would you like?
Do you know what them? Do
you want one out of
them
this box?
Those Biscoff ones look great, but do you know what they've done is? Do you know why burgers now are too tall to fit in your mouth?
It is.
They kinda
These are
done that,
big.
have they?
Do you know what? You need to go in sideways on one of these. I
Yeah.
think,
Do you know what? You need like a knife and fork. Even you need a wee operation. You know.
Can I tell you the truth? And this is see literally nearly no matter like see on this it is a Mr. Kipling tiny French fancy and I don't even buy them anymore. I just get them for free. But like they see unless see if it's a bit bigger or not. I'm getting a spoon to plate. I'm a prince. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say spoon. I'm getting a pastry fork if it's available.
I'm getting a trial.
Yeah.
I'll take my shirt off, lay it across the table, and I'll eat off
Here's the
that.
truth about me. This is a wee truth. I haven't really talked about this. I would never ever be comfortable with my top off, right? Because obviously I'm a big unit, and it's just like a psychological thing since I've been a big unit,
I get you.
which is like from a long time ago. But recently in the house, started to whip them out.
Really?
I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm
I'll
starting to
say
enjoy
Yeah,
it.
get a bit of air in them
Yeah,
nips,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
That'll be the difference between me and you, because you know I love getting naked. I
love
find
it.
getting naked hilarious.
Yeah, like
I'll take my clothes off at any
I've
appropriate
started doing
opportunity.
it. I've started doing it. I start getting a wee bit antsy. Take it off, feel good. My nips are like sand dollars. Have you ever seen these?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it until recently. It was actually
nipples?
Chloe went, your nips look like sand dollars. And I went, I don't know what that means. And she was like, look at this. And it's like a wee creature. And it looks like my nips, which is mental. So look at it for yourselves. But there's two of them just fucking...
I'd imagine your nipples look like the top of Ice James. I'd imagine you
I
just
can see that. Yeah.
always hard.
But like...
Different
but like,
colours.
But
Different colours.
yeah.
Sugary.
One, yeah, one's white, one's just like off purple.
Yeah. Did they have the wee biscuit underneath?
It was like half broken off.
Here, see Ice Jabs, seriously. Fucking great.
What a
Great
treat.
tear. Great tear.
Yeah,
treat.
yeah.
You don't see him anymore.
No, do you know what I used to love? Did you ever get the one and it would be like broken? And so I mean, so you get a wee biscuit on its own, but then maybe later down towards the bottom of the bag, there's maybe two of those wee iced
Wee gems,
nips.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Good time.
Do you know what? They're dead. They were dead hard, weren't they?
yeah. Oh, they take it.
Nothing's
They
that
take your
hard now.
teeth like nah.
That's probably why they're not about. They probably got like banned or some shit. you know what I mean?
Harder than a fucking 1980s paramilitary.
Did you know there were chocolate gems?
No.
So it was ice gems with little flowers of chocolate on the top.
Crazy.
Sounds
never
shit.
had-
Sounds shit in comparison.
That's blown your mind.
And I'm like, don't do this to me, Willie.
No,
I don't need to discover new
it was-
snacks.
Lovely.
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
I haven't had one of
For
those.
the softer toothed among you. That's who it's for. Like. No, but like I've just seen photos of myself recently. I'm like, I need to fucking tighten the belt. Like
Tighten the belt.
Tighten the belt
Tighten the belt means not spend money.
on food.
In order so that you can tighten your belt.
The
physically.
weight just goes on my torso. It never hits my legs. So
I
I'm now
get it.
built like someone just balancing a fridge
I-
freezer on a nightstand.
I feel like I get fat from here to just about 6 inches above my knees. The bottom of my legs, more than
Muscular.
happy with it.
Great calves, yeah.
Excellent quads.
I think a lot of fat guys, more like I'm not saying I'm active. I'm probably more active than your average fat guy, just slightly, and so you get great calves. Whereas because your
get that, yeah.
Because
your
you're
They're carrying.
your calves
weight.
are constantly working.
Yeah.
But then the trade off is obviously bad knees and pickle bollocks. But like what are you gonna do? But the what do you call it? So like you get good calves and then but like the rest of you just fucking absorbs it, doesn't it? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
If like your
very
Tinder
sad.
profile is just gonna be some ankles. Aren't
Yeah.
they? They're gonna be like,
Pickle bollocks.
I did
Yeah, his
great.
knees
I
smell
did
like
great
brine.
business over in like Middle East. What? It's like ankle porn.
Pickle bollocks sounds like, do you know that game we play backstage where we say if James Bond was a girl and they had to have Bond boys?
Yeah.
Do you know where the old Bond girls were silly pun names?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Pussy Galore.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Where like if there was a female Bond,
Yeah.
do you then get,
Yeah.
male pun
You get
names?
silly, ball root ball vein.
Yeah.
In FIFA,
Huge
fucking
hard-on.
Bollocks,
Yeah.
fantastic.
huge hard on. That's
That's
it.
amazing.
Dicks Insider.
Classic. Classic.
What was the other one? Fucking Dick Tremendous. That was a
Dick
good one.
Tremendous was a great one.
Dick
Yeah.
Tremendous sounds quite fantastical, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's like a sci-fi guy.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Could be a wee Irish one, be loads of shaft.
There's
Yeah, because that's like Plenty O'Toole.
Yeah.
oh, amazing.
Yeah.
There was a comedian.
Hi, I'm Plenty, and he's like, but of course you are. Yes, I'm sitting there as a what is this, right? Because from like I started watching James Bond when I was probably 7, right? I
Yeah.
feel like I started watching it around the time of my first Holy Communion and all that, right? And
Happy
think that's
Communion,
linked, is it?
time to watch some Bond.
yeah, you've become a man. This is how you treat ladies, right? But I'm sitting there going, what is it about Bond that as a young boy, when you're watching it, you go, that's awesome. Like, you know what I mean? But of course you are. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, what's that? I'm 7.
It's knowing what to say to a woman because you're 7 years old and you're like, I
no,
don't know
yeah,
what to
seven,
say.
you're not into that yet.
I know, but at
Oh, do you
7,
think?
at 7, I'm just going, I don't even know what that joke means.
I think it's the belief he could kick a fuck out of everyone.
Yeah.
But even like, I'm
Karate
talking
chops.
about even the wee bits where he's like, I want a vodka, a vodka martini shake and that's third. You're sitting there at 7 going, and I just want to know what that shit must be hardwired into your brain.
Yeah.
Do you
You
think
know what I mean?
there's some like evolutionary thing where it's like I gotta get a fucking bow tie now?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this. you
I
know?
too should go to Monaco and learn how to play baccarat. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a comedian who went by Hugh Jardon once. He went as
That's
a
unbelievable.
stage name, and you remember this way because you bring this up sometimes. But he came on stage with a wee sheet of paper and he just read out like Jimmy Carr jokes. But
Oh, I
like
hated him.
he died in his hole. But like while he was dying on his hole, and a joke didn't land, he'd be like, well, that's a Jimmy Carr joke. Like he would just say to the crowd, he's like,
Doing covers,
if you don't
like?
like, yeah, he was a cover band, yeah.
That worked for Jimmy Carr, so what's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem with you guys here? You don't like
That's
good
weird,
comedy.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
it's
you
weird.
you ran so much open mic comedy. What
King of
jump?
the Pavilion. Like,
Oh,
are you the
100%.
longest serving promoter in there?
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years in September last month. Yeah, a couple
Unreal.
months ago. Yeah.
He's
It
the
was,
Alex Ferguson of the open mic comedy
Did
here.
you take that over directly from Graham?
No, from Alan, who took it over from Graham. Who
Right,
took it over
okay.
from, I think, Paul Curry, weirdly. Or like somebody, but Liam Watson.
Sorry, Graham took it over from them.
Yeah.
Right.
There was somebody. There was like it sort of disappears into the mist at that point because I was like when the scene was like 8 people, and then the minute it became 12 people, those 8 people got very angry, and took about 10 years for them to come round.
Do you remember Graham? Graham used to do a bit. I don't like talking about other comedians' bits, but he's not gigging anymore. Sure, he's not. So it's okay. isn't it?
He's done.
So,
He's
Graham-
happy now.
Graham,
that's what it is. That's what gets people out.
Struggles over. Graham,
yeah.
Graham used to do a bit. I remember the first time he did it, I loved it immediately, but he did it a few times. It was funny where he used to do a bit where he was saying like how he could never run, but one day he was walking through a park wearing jeans and went, like, I can run. I can just run.
Yeah.
And he started running. His joke was basically, I don't want to do his punchline.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh mate, it was just such a great bit.
He looked suspect.
Yeah, basically like
red-faced man in jeans.
guy running through a park, red face and pair of jeans, looks like he's done
Sweat.
something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I used to do that on the walk home from school. I get bored of walking and just start sprinting.
I think
Like
That's-
sprinting
yeah.
home.
Does everyone not do that when they're drunk? I think at some point at like 3 a.m. you're like, fuck it.
I will do, yeah.
If
You're like in
anything-
the middle of the road.
If anything, I slow down.
Yeah. You're like a gritter.
I'm like
It's 3 in the morning just blocking up roads.
I'm like a sloth just sitting in the road. Somebody comes and moves me, and as I drive away, I just go. You know.
Oh, you would be a wee sloth. Kieran!
Do you ever see that scene in what do you call that movie? The Zootopia or something?
Yeah.
It's shite like a kid's
Yeah,
thing, but
yeah.
there's a fucking great scene in it with a sloth where like this wee, you know, whatever the main character is like super bouncing on. She's like, hi, and he goes, hi, and she goes to keep talking. He just keeps interrupting her because he's finishing his last sentence.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, so I was hoping. He's like, how? Oh, and she's like, I'm fine. He's like, you. It's so good. Today, you know.
Some people are like that as well. They're
Yeah.
like, let me finish. And you're like, I know exactly the one word you have left in this sentence. Just fucking let me
Get there.
go.
Just get there.
Just get there quickly. Get there
Oh
quickly.
man, my dad was a wee bit like that sometimes, but he used to like he would and I know I do this too, but my dad was obviously a bit older and he would do it for longer where he would basically go like, could you pass us that bottle of you're like water, right?
kills you.
And you're going fucking get there, right? But like it used to really drive me at Johnny like fucking insane. because my dad would have driven us like the gigs and all, and we were doing music, and sometimes he was talking. Met my dad one night. He came off. My dad was in a band in the 60s, right? And so he would sometimes give us advice, and here sometimes it was fucking great advice, right? Do you know what I will say that he always gave us really great advice on? Never let anybody see you rehearse a song. Never play anything you don't know the way through, and fucking, which is unbelievable because I can't around all the time. Never show up to the gig with like paper and pages of songs. Just fucking, you know it. You get there, smash, look like a fucking band, right? So he would have given us like wee bits like that, and he, would have been, he'd been looking at us going, and I mean like. Quite funny. Like, I'm making him sound like he was hard about this. He wasn't a dick about it, but he would sort of slag you, like, in a way. It was sort of funny where, like, like, even if, like even when I was, like, learning a guitar. So, like, the first time my brothers were away and I'd started learning, when they came back at Christmas that year, I could sort of play a couple of songs. I've been learning for 2 or 3 months, so I could sort of play a couple of tunes. And I'm sitting there, and my brothers are going, fucking nice one, mate, it's great. And my dad's looking at me going, you don't know it yet. Why are you playing this in front of people? And I'd be like, thanks, Dally. Right? It's my dreams, Jim. Anyway, so but it was actually quite funny. But he came off us one night where he goes, "Now I wouldn't know much about the crowd in that place. I can only tell you what I see when you're coming out of it. It's a bit messy in there, like, and we'd be going right." And he go, "But do you ever think of changing it up a wee bit? What you were playing?" I'm like looking in at Johnny in the rearview mirror, going, never change. And and Johnny goes, what do you mean? And he goes, for instance, you're maybe playing some of your Garth Brooks stuff. Me and Johnny are going, don't play Garth Brooks. Like you're 20 years out of date already, right?
Yeah.
And he would go, maybe doing something like that. Throw in a wee Perry Como number. And Johnny goes, Perry Como, like from like the 50s. And my dad goes, yeah. And Johnny goes, oh, Mr. Bullet, don't know if the people in there like. And he goes, everybody likes Perry Como. And I went, right. And he goes, do you know what Perry Como would have played like? And I went, yeah, like Calypso stuff. And my dad literally said this, and me and Johnny, like, this was maybe one of the only times I laughed in my dad's face in my whole life. And he looked at me like he's going to fucking stab me, right? Because he goes, wouldn't necessarily classify at all as Calypso, He would have thrown out a wee bit of that, more of that, I'm going to say Trinidadian folk music, right? And I remember me and Johnny just going,
aye, that's the answer you're looking for.
Yeah. Do you know what'll kill after Red Hot Chili Peppers and Kings of Leon? Here's a wee Trinidadian folk track. You mental cunt. But you could. I wish that if there was one thing I wish about my dad, it's that I wish I could have turned around and gone, "You're a mental bastard." You know what I mean? I went. You found yourself. I laughed and went. Oh my god! I don't think people will go for that. To be fair, like, and he's like, right, well.
I've said my piece.
Won't know until the trial sees at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would he have taken that bad if you ever turned around to him and went,
If I went, you're a mental bastard, my dad would not have been happy with that. Like,
no?
Did he ever see you do stand up?
No.
I was going to say.
I mean, he would have known, he knew I was doing it, but he knew it wasn't, I wouldn't have him or my ma doing it, no.
Right, yeah.
No.
Oh, your ma's not seen it either?
Oh, his mum seen it?
No.
All right.
Your mum's seen it?
She's probably seen the specials, but like I wouldn't have her. I don't mean the band. I don't mean the people out in the streets. She was fucking sensational. She wanted to come to the SSA and I couldn't have it. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, to be fair, in that show there was a whole bit about her as well, so it just would have been weird.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen you swear around her, she'll always turn to me and be like, he used to be the loveliest wee boy.
She'll just go.
He's in the corner going, fucking cunts! And he's going, I don't know what happened with him.
I think it was that James Bond around the time of the first communion.
Why is he backhanding every woman he sees? Yeah, she wouldn't accept the C-bomb like at all. And to be fair, I don't maybe say it as often as I would have in shows, but like it does come out.
You have mellowed over the years now.
I've mellowed.
I've only seen you do the Pav once now, and
I always eat shit, and like even when I was like coming up, I would eat shit there, and so it got to a point where I was just like, I don't like leaving the house to specifically eat shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, fair enough. I get that. But I mean, if I remember right, you were doing grand. But I think it was like sometimes people are doing fine and they don't think they're doing fine, so they start going "fuck yous," and the crowd are like "fuck us."
Oh, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I used to be that guy.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually going well.
Yeah.
And I'm going, why he's not fucking turning us place apart?
And you walked
These
up.
are shit.
You walked up
Look
the
at your
stage,
life.
giving the fingers as you walked. Both
I-
fingers.
Because
as
you've
you
made
walked.
like a niche reference to the lead singer of System of a Down, and you're like, System of a Down, chops away.
Have you guys never had a mudvayne, have
You know
you?
what is
Puddle of mud.
genuinely so weird? On the way over here this morning, I have a Twank's Big Brutes playlist on Spotify. It's all my favorite metal
Brutes.
songs, and I have big. Did you say Big Brits?
I think you said Big Brit.
No,
Brits,
big,
yeah.
Big Brutes.
right, okay.
And I said like, boom,
Twank's Big Brit sounds like it was on Television X in the free.
get your
System of a
Brits out.
System of a Down to the Brits.
And
like,
they,
that'd be weird, you know.
it's I put System of a Down on it, and as I was listening to it, I went, I need to talk about that today. It's so weird.
System
It was
of a Down. System of a Down.
Hypnotize. I'm just sitting in my car. Very weird.
I was more into Mesmerize because that was a big deal whenever I was
good.
in like 2005 or something. I was in
Is that the one
secondary
that
school.
has like BYOB on? it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Everybody's going
Going to the party, have a real good time. Bum. But
That was the soundtrack of 9/11 for me as a child. That was stuff that I. That's
The
the stuff I listened to.
soundtrack to my
Do you know,
9/11.
I was thinking about that.
That's what I call
That's my
9/11.
desert island discs of terrorism. Whenever I was.
Oh, your favorite 9/11 hit.
That's what I call 9/11. Oh, mate, Tar Inferno.
Yeah. P.
Unbelievable.
Diddy feet 911.
burning down the house. Whenever
I was
Oh, man.
I feel like I can fly. Or I believe I can fly. Fucked it. I was 10 years old.
I'll only have I Believe I Can Fly if it's by me first and gimme. So, oh, sorry.
Right enough, that's a taboo song
I
these
know, yeah.
days, isn't it? I believe I can
Yeah.
fucking
Why?
get behind bars.
R. Kelly loves it.
I was 11 when 9/11 happened, and I was in primary school. And I was thinking about this lately because I read that Northern Ireland's the only place that has like a mandatory therapist in every secondary school. They don't have that in England or down south. Like something good happened here, basically. And I was like, that's good. They're treating mental health of kids better now. Because I was a kid when 9/11 happened, their therapeutic approach the day after was to make us draw it. Like, they gave us some crayons. They're like, bust out the Crayola kids. It's all kicking off in Palestine. Like, it's fucking...
Yeah.
They're just
That's
a misdraw. Yeah,
Guy-
absolutely.
One racist kid really wearing down the brown one. Like really leaning heavy into
That's
it.
mad. I always remember. I don't want to get into this because I've talked about it before, but
What,
I just
9/11?
always remember. Yeah, but like the way we get told about it, I just always remember the teacher coming in. A HE teacher came into English and went, "There's been a bit of an accident in America, a bit of a plane crash," and we were like, "Right, it's weird that you've come in to tell us. Like that's weird, but like whatever." And I was like, when we got home, like, got the school bus home, nothing. Get home, and everyone at home was just sitting watching it, going,
Yeah, God.
world's over. Like
I can't really remember because I was like 5.
you were really young. Like.
How I found out it happened was I watched SmackDown that night and Vince McMahon announced it. So that's how I knew. I knew it was serious because Stone Cold, he was the bad guy at the time, and he was standing beside The Rock, and I was like,
shedding a
they're not
tear.
even mates. This is serious.
Well,
You know what's serious?
here's
Stone
my
Cold has
question.
the
though.
wee rattlesnake
I
hat out.
I was just about to say, were they wearing clothes or were they like was he standing there with his
Yes.
fucking bulge out? Like, you know what I mean?
Most of them were wearing clothes, but Kane was still dressed in like the full mask. and all,
Oh
being
my
like,
God.
Sparkly nips.
Being like, yeah, lips out, wee vest, being like,
Yeah.
Spirit
Never
of
forget.
America lives
Never
on.
forget.
Mankind's just sitting there flying it into a Lego car. It's fucking unbelievable.
They did on the day of the I'll not talk about wrestling loads, but there was on the day of the 7/7 bombings. They had filmed this segment where there was a terrorist gimmick who beat up the Undertaker, and 8 like Al Qaeda dudes came up and beat up the Undertaker, but they'd already aired it. But it came out on the day of 7/7.
Oh, would you not be gutted? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fully gutted.
Somebody lost a job over that.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
didn't
They
turn
sacked-
around and go, "That's a bit rare, lads."
They
You know?
sacked the guy who was the gimmick. He didn't write it, but they sacked
That's
him.
fucking crazy. Speaking of weird crowds, you didn't even say it. I just I went. Thank you for your Christmas present that you got us. We went to see Frankie Boyle last night.
Oh, class.
So it was class,
Where was
right?
that? I
Willy
didn't
T
know.
does good.
Waterfront.
That's one thing. Willy T does good
Good
press.
presents.
He does do a good
Good
present.
present.
Listen, he was brilliant. Crowd,
Dog shit, yeah.
you've embarrassed me.
Wow.
Well, there like a sort of scrap broke out. So we had great seats. By the way, we were in like that you know, the big lot of seats, like in front, obviously, they're all in front of the stage, but like the first block of seats, we're in there, and a scrap sort of kicks off in the background. Hi. Chloe has arrived anyway, so we just in case you thought that was Shane or something.
Kieran just turned into like your ma watching you in nativity.
Do you know, I remember, see when you were doing that stuff, did your teachers ever really be like, do not wave?
Yeah.
You will not wave.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like somebody, I remember, do you know what, again, it's sort of like me looking at other kids being like, what a disappointment, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I remember when this Uyghur waved at her man, I'm sitting looking at her being like, she broke character. Right?
I used to see when someone, like, when they were reading lines and they would be like, and Jesus and Mary went, I'm like, do you want me to do her line?
Yeah.
Because she can't read.
I know, see when people would read that way, oh my God.
Something about it turns you into Andrew Lloyd Webber, doesn't it? You're like throwing a shoe.
I'd just be like, will you fuck
Even
up?
as a class, when you had to all read bits of a book, and Beth and Chip and Kipper went into the and I'm like, can thou not read, child?
Enunciate! And you will enunciate.
Yeah, literally, I'm standing there like, project the voice.
I fucking see when people were reading, there was a mate of mine in school and he had the Simpsons Chippy guy voice, you know, do you want fries with that?
Yeah,
right? And he had that for a long time.
Was there a Chippy in the Simpsons?
He had that, Krusty Burger. So he had that.
He
had that.
The squeaky voice thing.
Yeah. He had that, you know, that voice, and I have to get the manager, right? He had that voice, and people would consistently, teachers would go, right, where did we get to yesterday? Whose turn is it to read today? And people would just go, him. We all want to hear him struggle through this, and it was awful. And then also when people were reading, if I was reading, I would be stabbed up. Like people would stab you when you were reading.
Oh yeah.
So you would make a cunt to yourself.
Like a wee protractor.
Like you're reading,
compass.
they're getting
Compass
a
is the big one,
compass
wasn't
or
it?
a fucking like a
pencil.
what do you call it? A fucking sharpened, a freshly sharpened statler.
Wee prison shiv of a thing
Oh
going on. You know?
shivs, yeah. Oh, brutal. But anyway, so when we went to see Frankie Boyle, the fucking so a sort of scrap kind of kicked off in the row seats behind us. You know that when you're on the waterfront, there's like that there's like an aisle.
Yes.
And then there's more seats there. Then they have like a wee table type thing in front of them they can put their shit on. It was back in there. So scrap happened in there between what sounded like a man and a woman. The one was just screaming shit. And Frankie Boyle was sort of like, the first 25 minutes of the show were fucking sensational, by the way. And then he's just like, oh, what? Like, I can't even hear what you're saying, fuck's sake, right? And he didn't really, and then eventually he went, can we do something about that? People in the waterfront, to be fair to them, were standing going, thank you. And I'm going, throw them out. Like, act, right? So they finally get rid of these and everybody cheered. And then it just opened the gates for dickheads then. People were shouting at them. And everything they shouted was absolute
piss.
Scrap. Like people just going, that's shit.
Yeah, it's like, what can I do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not shouting and you could, do you know what they were doing? And it was really annoying. He'd be getting the big punchline in a bit, and then they're shouting and just murder the vibe. And he didn't even want to like stamp them in a clever way. He was just going, "Will you shut the fuck up?" Like, I mean, he actually said at one point, he went, "I can't even get any momentum going."
Yeah,
you know, and I was literally just going, because he is like literally like my favorite comedian in these islands.
I had a similar thing happen when I went to see Bridges.
Yeah, he is also excellent. By the way,
he's probably my favorite too.
Yeah.
But it's one of those you're like, Belfast, you let me down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You feel embarrassed for the crowd, like.
Yeah, I felt embarrassed for the whole time. I was literally sitting there going, because he had to stop the show, stop the show, maybe 4 or 5 times the whole way through just to get people thrown out. At one point, some guy's leaving, going like that, and his mates filming him, and I'm going,
"Why are you proud of this?
You're a knob, like." Oh, it was so bad.
See, Linsky did the Empire once, and he got heckled with somebody shouting, "That's enough." I like, that's a great heckle, isn't it? That's like withering, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But without being like, you can do something with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's enough. We've had enough of you, you know?
Is there any kind of heckle that makes you lose your temper? Not even consciously, you just hear it, you go,
I've had this once or twice.
Rich.
I've had it once or twice where I'm maybe doing a bit that somebody's already seen, and they'll shout a punchline to try to fuck you up. I thought, but that's only been once or twice. I hate the ones that are like just noise, just useless noise. Like I was doing a gig in Fork Hill, and some woman in like literally in the first row, but the stage was quite high, so it was like in like it felt like you were in like a school assembly hall, like you're up and everyone's on the floor, like, you know what I mean? And she literally just went like that, and I'm going, but she was with one of the comedians, so I'm going, I also can't slag you or get you thrown out.
Yeah.
So I've got to sort of just go crazy bitch on, and I hate that because I don't like it. I don't mind dealing with heckling, but I deal with it my way, which is to stamp and nearly stamp too much and maybe but like stamp them so that they go
make the room uncomfortable.
Yeah, I like to make everyone uncomfortable, but I sort of think because I sort of feel real when I'm at a gig.
Do you know what the vibe is when you lose your mind in an audience member? Do you ever go to your mate's house and his like ma starts beating the fuck out of him?
Yeah.
And you have to sit in the front room. Pretend you can't hear it.
You knock on your mate's front window and hear somebody going, "Is that your fucking friends again?" You just stand there going, "Do you want to play Kirby?"
You ever had like a lift to a gig?
He's coming out like, can't come out.
Oh no, what Daddy says I can't come out. There's a fucking.
You just see the hand coming.
There's a compass stuck on his leg. Are you reading again?
Do you ever get a lift to a gig with like a couple and then they're fighting in the front seat and you're just sort of sitting at the back like staring at a raindrop going down the window?
I stoke the flames. I don't go quiet for a bit and I'll be like, I can't believe you're letting him talk to me like that. And then just lean back again.
No, yeah.
I've done that with you and Chloe before.
Yeah.
I'm a bastard, man. I can feel the tension burn. Let me just throw a wee bit of petrol on that.
There was
like
definitely
on your seatbelt.
There was definitely a day, wasn't there, on the tour last year, I think, when the three of us were pretty broken.
Yeah.
I think it was the day that we drove from London to Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it was the last day of it. But the day before we had come from Carlisle to fucking London, right?
Jeez.
And I was dog shit. And I know that we were all broken, but it wasn't that anyone was like cracking up at each other. It was just like this in the car.
Yeah, there was no crack to
There
be
was
had.
there was nothing. I remember we stopped, and I know the only thing I cared about at that stop was how many bags of squares I was buying. I was like, if I get 4, that'll take me from here to Birmingham. It was fucking brutal. I sat through a terrible row. I sat through 2 terrible rows, to be fair, of a couple that I used to know, and now they're just a couple that I used to, and one of these rows was absolutely mental because it was very much a guy had cleaned the whole place but had left a knife in the sink, and she cracked up, and it was like, and it was me and another one of my mates were sitting there, we were just both looking at each other going, and then the other one, we were like, you know, those two, we were like a what do you call it, like a faded face and a 70s photo in the background, you know, just going, right? And the one, the other one was, so we were going on a night out. What a night out this is, by the way. Go to your mate's house for with we're watching the fucking Eurovision final, and it was, but here, listen, that was just the pre-drinks.
What year are we talking here?
It was the year that Lordy won it.
Oh, that's actually a good year.
Hard.
It's a good vintage. Yeah.
Hallelujah!
Fucking right. So,
Was that the year
big brutes.
Ukraine had a...
well, I know. Sorry. I have a problem with thumping the table. It's been recently damaged and it's now glued and screwed, and I thumped the bag out of it there. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Was that the year Ukraine had a banging entry too? The guy in like the tinfoil suit.
Did he not win though? No.
He's on the front lines now in that suit. He's surviving in that. Do you know what I mean? He's wearing the tinfoil looking for laser sights to blind people.
Did that Russian guy that we've looked up, did he sing in the Eurovision? That guy, he goes.
Oh, that guy. Is that a Eurovision guy?
He was just a singer, I think. I don't think
he wasn't Eurovision.
No,
right?
No.
He felt very Top of the Pops whenever I saw the video. Like,
see that?
Like, yeah.
Do you remember Engelbert Humperdinck did it?
Oh, yeah.
And he's had that much facelift. Certainly, he's just constantly like.
Oh my
So
god!
it's coming up like
Is he still alive?
no points, and he's like.
I think he's only recently dead now. He
really?
he was basically Madame Tussauds at the end. Like if he blinked, it whistled. Like it was one of them sort of things.
He was like his face was melting under
Yeah,
the
it
studio
was-
lights.
Clarence Boddicker at the end of RoboCop, just like
Yeah, he was carrying half of himself in a bag in front of him. Half the time, you know?
so like we went over to this house to watch this, right?
Aye.
And what do you hear what we were doing this night? We're going to have drinks there, and then we were going to the Empire to watch a little band called the Bon Jovi Experience.
Oh, I know these
Now
guys used
here,
to work in the Empire too.
Fucking great.
Yeah, they're great.
Mate, guy comes out, looks like Bon Jovi. I'm like, I'm in. Starts singing. I'm like, sort of sounds vaguely like him, but the band can play. I'm in. I was like 20 odd, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This was fucking, mate, this was unbelievable. Like, I mean, I grew up very much listening to Bon Jovi. Like, I don't listen to them as much now, but up until the album with what do you call it? The album that had like "It's My Life" on it. Crush.
Always is a banger.
Up until
So-
Crush.
Yeah.
I'm a Bon Jovi fan. I've tuned out since then. Sambora's away. Don't care. Right. Here he's coming back though. Ooh, right. Anyway. So like they're playing all the hits. I mean they're doing, mate. You know what? They're breaking out quite a lot of stuff. It's on Crossroads. Basically the best of, right, with a couple of, they've got Always on there. They're giving me In These Arms. You know, do we know this?
I don't know that one actually.
In these arms,
I don't know
I
about Bon Jovi.
hold you. Right, anyway, don't know it.
To know it.
Unbelievable. They're
Good
getting
I know
It's
Living on a
great.
Prayer, that's it.
Living on a Prayer is a classic.
living. That's it. That's it for Bon Jovi. Keep the faith.
Always.
Always. Romeo's bleeding.
My house was not a rock household, really. It was like British rock, not a lot of American stuff.
Right.
Like
Right.
Guns N' Roses not when it been played in my house.
Oh, it's very sad.
My parents were very old.
Like I would have listened to more
so-
James than I would have like Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, it hurt. Well, I don't really. I'm not
Do
a
be
mad.
slagging James.
I'm
James are
not,
great.
I was about to say I'm not a massive Bruce Springsteen fan. All right, this is Luke's now sitting through our row.
Yeah, that's great.
So
yeah.
anyway, we're over.
You gonna
we're-
let him speak to you like that?
we're going over to watch.
Your
We're
podcast.
going. So we're watching Eurovision. Then we're going out. During the Eurovision, one of my mates comes up with the idea: why don't we hide the tickets? This will be funny, right? The tickets are sitting on a coffee table, right? Why don't we hide the tickets, right? And so he fucking hides them in like I think in his fucking jacket or something, right? Because he had them on his person. So he has them, and then this couple who have brought the tickets, he's like, right, where's the tickets? Ready to go. Taxi's fucking ordered.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. And he goes, I thought I left them on the table there. And she's like, oh my God, are they in the house? And he's like, no, I definitely lifted them. I had them in the car. Blah, 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 XYZ. Turns into a full-scale row. And towards the end of it, my mate's just sitting with the tickets going, there's a taxi, fucking, in these hours. Fucking mental.
Did it just go way out of control?
It was just like, it started to get like, you know when
Dead personal.
you know when somebody says something like, This is just you. This is you.
This is you. And your ma's a bitch.
You do this all the time. It's just
powerful.
like that time you did this. See when you hear a line like that?
Yeah.
Like some fucking Hail Mary from 6 months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like that fucking time you fucked me over. That's it.
You gotta watch out for the always and the nevers. You know when you're having an argument with
Yeah,
somebody.
you always do this.
Yeah, that's a fucking. You're fucked after that. Both of you are. The argument's going nowhere if you say someone always does that.
I'm so shit in arguments.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shit.
Really?
I'm so shit.
Do you,
you know-
cave?
I picture
No.
you being like you
Immediately?
on stage, so I feel like if you're in an argument, even with someone who you absolutely love, I
Yeah.
can imagine you going, "You fucking cunt!" like,
No,
leaving
no.
the
I
room,
know
leaving
him as a
the fingers.
person. You don't want to see anyone
I
upset.
just go, I don't even.
Big softy.
You do- you do.
Do you know what I'll do? I definitely cave in the aftermath of the row.
Yeah.
I can't cope with sitting there on my own.
Oh, I hate that bit. I
Yeah.
hate that bit. What are, if you're in the room with them?
I just want. Can this just be normal now? 'Cause
That's
I'm
my
bored of this.
favourite bit.
Well, to me, that's when it gets
Oh, I know.
resolved. That's when it gets
No, because
resolved.
then they'll be like, I'm sorry. I'm like, you should be.
You'd- I love the tag round too. Do you know what I mean?
He's weak.
That's abs.
He does have face too.
He
as well,
does
I
should
bet,
be.
yeah.
He does emotionless.
That's devastating. I'm like,
Do you know what it is? I think I've just inherited my ma's ability to guilt you after a row. Because the person will come in and be like, I'm sorry, it wasn't worth that. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Now I know what I mean to you. That's all right.
Do you know what I do? Do you know what I do? I sometimes try to play FIFA in a huff, and I know that when I'm doing it, I'm sitting going, and the game is annoying me. But what I'm really going, and in my head, I make mad.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this can be. I've had this problem since I was a teenager. Whoever I've had the row with, I'm just going. I'm not talking to X for this amount of time. I'm like, I'm not talking to him for fucking 2 years. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
2
And
years.
I'll be like, I'm not talking to him. See, even though they talk to me, I'm sitting here like fucking like stone. I am stone. I'm like, yup.
See,
I
You
can't.
betray yourself.
I'll do that, but I'll mean it. Like, if we've had a fight and I go, I'm not talking to you, and you see me the next day, it's literally like someone's went back in time and erased your birth. Because I'll run into you and be like, they'll be like, William, and I'm like, and you are. You know this, like, I will,
There's a guy in particular I'm thinking of even as well.
It's like they've erased your birth.
It's like it's like Doctor Strange cast that spell and you never were. So people will be like, do you know that person? I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, you obliviate them.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
My partner worked in like a complaints department and I work as a therapist. So there was like a point where anytime we argued, there'd be like the initial argument would be dog shit, and then we'd come back 2 hours later and I'd be like, I've done a fucking chart, right?
There's objectives. Learnings.
There's something. Look, I've had to think. I'm pretty sure
You've turned into Johnny Cochran in these 2 hours.
I'm sitting there with some fucking wet gloves going, come on, try 'em on. Now, you fucking did it. We know you did it.
This is racism. What you're doing to me right now.
Yeah, God, But you did raise somebody, and he was a comedian. He was a shit one.
Yeah.
It was real bad.
Speaking of wet gloves,
Yeah.
So we were doing a wee gig recently, the 3 of us.
Was he at it? Your man?
No. I just need to. I need
to.
I need to discuss this. We look.
Oh yeah.
So we were sitting. We were doing a wee gig in the Doyen, right? In Finicky, on the Lisburn Road. Although I don't even think you're not on the posh end of the Lisburn Road there. You have to go. You have to. Yeah. You at least have to go over the flyover at that bar, and then that's where it becomes a little bit more.
Yes.
It becomes a little bit more almond milk, doesn't it?
Because it's quite fancy, but at the same time, it also has Bethika. So
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword.
Well, see, but there's a whole middle there. There's a whole middle of the Lisburn Road there, which is very almond milky.
Yeah.
Bethica on one side, Finicky Crossroads KFC on the other. Like, you know,
there's
what I mean?
people wearing waistcoats, but they're like super dry waistcoats.
No.
You know, it's like both.
There's a lot of
got a Helly Hansen tux on.
A lot of young families who people who talk like this. Anyway,
there was a guy in a pinstripe suit there, and Sean said there's a guy in a full-on pinstripe suit in the front row, and I was like, I'm gonna rip the fuck out of this guy. And then I saw him, and he's very old, and I was like, nah, it's rude. It's like if it's a young man in a pinstripe suit, you go, who the fuck do you think?
Yeah.
I saw him. I was down to be like, I'm pretty sure I beat you in the first Crash Bandicoot game, but I didn't think anyone would get that reference.
I don't even think I saw that guy, did I?
He was in the front row, but I think I just thought you had turned your mercy upon him.
I must have, yeah, I must have, but it's all subliminal because I don't think I saw him. But there was an old guy at a gig. Where was that gig we did? There was an old guy at it. I ended up buying him a pint because I did slag him about, like, I was like, you look like you're dressed for going into a fucking speakeasy. He was wearing spats. I was going, what the fuck? What did you think you were coming to? But like I think it might have been Nandytown or something, and I ended up buying him a pint. But he was very nice. But anyway, so we're in the Doyen, and we were just, you know what, we were sitting chatting. They have a nice wee green room in there. It's one of the better
lovely
ones.
Bar.
We bar sort of bit for the comedians, and it was good crack. And the conversation now, often when we're talking at gigs, it's very much food related or clothing related. Occasional sports will come up, but some of the comedians aren't really into sports. You know, Luke asked me on a Patreon episode, what's a screamer?
Yeah.
And I was like, you talking about football? Yeah. Because I was playing
Never
FIFA.
placed a woman.
I know, yeah. And so we're sort of talking, but the conversation on this night sort of turned towards a story that Luke has that I had never heard before. Do you want to... One of you wants to pick us up from here?
I think you should.
Yeah,
We don't want to name anybody because we don't want to give that person any
this guy,
any oxygen.
This guy's very arrogant. Like if I mention his name, he'll wake up in the middle of the night. He'll have like a screaming orgasm. Like, but he was a comedian. He was not very.
Back in the papers.
His eyebrows would be through the ceiling, man. If he did, but like he did stand up, and he was really quite bad actually. But he really thought he was amazing.
But he was arrogantly bad.
Yeah, he was really arrogant. Like if he was dying, he would be like sitting going, "You're a shite crowd," and all, like, which that's such a good impression of him.
You've just identified him.
There's some stern below his waist right now, but there's there's kind of a two-part. I only told you the first thing, right? Because I've turned down 2 threesomes in my life, and this is one of them. But And they're both devil's threesomes as well, which I looked this up as well. Do you know they call it devil's threesome because since it's two guys, they say it's closer to Satan because it's closer to homosexuality. And I'm like, well, that's two guys having sex with a
I
woman.
thought it was
It's pretty
because it was
straight.
two horns. Yeah.
But
I fear any of this. Go
it was-
ahead.
You fear a threesome?
Satan, threesomes, whatever.
this is a
Cake sitting here.
It's a godly
Fear.
podcast.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I'm Catholic, William. It's all fear. It's all fear and guilt.
These
Right?
balls are all holy water. Like. So he said he was having a
That
party.
makes it fun.
He was- I always thought as well like a devil's threesome would be some good crack because I thought you'd just work around each other. Do you know what I mean? I thought it'd
See,
be like
right, so you said that's right. So
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
on, right. So from my perspective, when I'm hearing the start of this story, look to me is just like really nice guy, always good crack. I've never thought about him having threesomes. It's never been something that's come
gonna
up.
make you.
I
think
just
about it.
and so I was just we were just sort of sitting there talking, and he said that, and I was like, that's a fucking dark horse, right? And the bit that gets me is the way you talk about working around the guy, the way I might like walk past Chloe and be like walking risotto, and like, you know what I mean? Dropping scallops, like as if it's Hell's Kitchen or something.
yeah,
you just
put
work
the
around this guy.
Yeah. No, I always just like the idea of it because I thought, oh, sure, you'd be dead thorough. You know what I mean?
Have we tasted that?
Work around-
More salt?
I just imagine like circling around somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like making a wee honeycomb in Squid Game. You know, one of them. But I just thought I'm a man of efficiency. For sure, fuck it, let's get another fella in. We'll make it some crack. But I know. So he was. It was
Someone to fucking talk to anyway.
even worse when we both have a row in the middle of it. Is you don't let her speak to you like that? It's like, my mouth's full, but all right.
You put it on the wrong host. She's like, that's just you. And
That's always you.
that's always you.
Always listening to Mark. You're just like your dad.
And then you find the ticket somewhere
You just want to pull Jovi. That's how it started.
underneath these sand dollars right here. So we went to this party back at his house, and he had been casually. Oh, he was quite repugnant about the way he treated women, because he would come up to you sometimes and show you a picture. It was quite repugnant. He'd like show you a picture of a woman on his phone, and you go, I'm fucking her, and you go, great, good for you. What do you want? Do you want like a prize?
This is a great impression, by the way.
He was having a party at his house, and I was like early 20s, so I was very much a say yes to life fucking idiot. And I went back to his house, and he'd been casually seeing this lady, and they were like having a fight, so he was ignoring her, and she was like flirting with me, and I knew fine rightly what was going on, but I was like gladly accepting any attention at all, because sometimes you don't know where your next mate is coming from, you know. And so I was happy enough, and I thought I might be able to parlay this into something. Do you know what I mean? And end of the night came, and it was just the three of us left. Parlay.
I love the absolute mix of like, so they were fine with each other, and I thought I might be able to bang her, but I thought I'll parlay this.
I'm a classy. I've seen James Bond. You know, I was like,
Quite a distinguished dirty bastard.
I've been expecting you, but she at the end of the night, it was the three of us left, and I was kind of hoping that he would sort of that the fight would fizzle out, and he would sort of.
Can you go to bed so I can fuck your bird?
It was very casual. He was having a very casual thing, and I'm nothing if not an opportunist. All I'll say in my defence is it had been a while. All right, it had been a wee while. At this point, we'd all taken LSD. By the way, there was some LSD in the mix.
This is an open. I am not a drugs guy.
I'm not even a drugs guy.
I know, right?
either,
But it was just the way you just went, oh yeah, we're all on LSD.
it's not relevant to the story, but I was on LSD at the time.
So I know the sofa was walking about the room at the time. And anyway,
There's a whole new meaning. The tripped fell, landed on his cock. You know what I mean?
So they were still fighting, and she had her arm around me, and
It's a great line.
and she,
They were still vibing. She had her arm around me.
and I was. Do you know what I mean? I was trying not to look like I was trying, so I was just sat there taking it, and And at one
Aloof
point,
McGibbon.
yeah. Although in a way, like I'm painting this like I thought I was very cool. When in a way, is that not really pathetic? Like hovering like a vulture on LSD, having taken LSD for the first time in the hopes of having some sex. You know,
You're sitting in his girlfriend's arm and she likes me.
And like after a while he was like, sure, why don't we all go upstairs and just have sex? And she was like, well, sure, yeah, but it's up to you, you know. And she looked at me, and I sort of looked around and I weighed up my options, and he said,
This is
the peak.
I don't want to overhype this. This is an immortal quote. Like this is gravestone shit. Like this is, you said this and I immediately went, podcast next week.
Yeah.
I can't.
Great career move for me. This move. But he looked at me and he said, I promise I won't suck your dick.
It's the he's gonna suck our dick.
Like there's a promise to be made. I was like, is there a threat of my dick getting sucked by you?
That's one of those few promises that means the exact opposite
like
thing.
You, sir,
I'm gonna try.
Did not enter into the equation for me at all. But now I'm really thinking, and I chose dignity instead, and I
don't know why. Just when it's the promise.
Yeah.
It's like you're standing in a churchyard on a rainy day, and he's got like a hand on your shoulder. I promise I won't suck your dick.
Do you know what really swung it for me? What swung it for me is I imagined for a second myself having sex with her and him, and I thought of looking at his face, and then I thought, if I have sex with her and him, he's going to try and leverage this into another stand-up spot. And I would rather not have sex than see him do stand-up. Okay.
Thank you for this is literally like that is one of the fucking, see that line, that is one of the fucking, I wasn't even there and that haunting me, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I promise.
Big old beard too, old beard, you know what I mean? And it wasn't for me.
Because that's him going, I promise, that implies you were concerned about it, but you haven't mentioned
I hadn't
concern.
even thought about it. I thought we were just going to use every part of the buffalo, you know what I mean? I thought we were going to leave nothing to waste.
Tip the tail.
But I was like, oh fuck, right,
yeah, it's getting cold, we'll sleep inside it tonight.
Not there's anything wrong. No, there's anything wrong getting his sucked. I just didn't seem like my cup of tea that night. I thought, you know,
mate, that's fucking unbelievable.
There was another time as well where now this makes me sound like I was a very successful woman, and I wasn't. This is me. This is a woman saying one nice thing to me and going, all right, we'll get married next weekend, right? But there was somebody I had a little moment with after a gig, and I thought, oh, this is good. And I got into the taxi there to go back to our house, and suddenly my mate gets in the taxi with me as well. And I thought we were just dropping him home, and we like drive past his house. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, mate, she's into me too. Let's have a threesome about it. I'm like, you haven't even spoke to her. Like, I'm like, what's going on? And like went back, like I could feel the chemistry between me and this lady just completely evaporate.
I'd be throwing them out of the moving car.
But I was all like, say yes to life, sure, fuck it, maybe so. This is interesting. We go back to our house and all, and it's just fucking, it's like 3 eunuchs. There's just no energy between us at all. And I realized afterwards, I'm like, I think she thought I'd brought him as like a chaperone for the sex or something. Like, because I hadn't said he's not with me at any point. So I think she just thought I was brought a hype man. So like we're having sex, she'll be in the corner, the wee bag of walkers going like, come on the lads, you can do it. You can do it. It's not actually very
good. Him in the taxi. What are you, like, out loud? What are you doing?
I whispered to him. I was like, "What's the plan?"
Oh no, you make a scene in that instance.
But I thought it would be an interesting story. But
see, when both these things were happening, that's all been happening to you.
Yes,
he's having a threesome, and I'm just in Subway. That's what we've all had on the same night. I'm just going. I the fear. Oh mate,
it's always me being like, I'm not even going out tonight, Kieran, and that's when you'll get the message at 6 a.m. going, well, what did I get up to?
I know, yeah.
Well, I used to be one of them fellas that couldn't come very much. You know, I was very desensitized. You know, yeah.
What do you mean?
I used to be able to just fuck away and like I'd
desensitized.
Like
we're gonna have to change the name of the podcast now to just some blasters.
I was a no blaster man. I never blasted, but I never really enjoyed myself.
Podcast.
I used to like fake orgasms. Do you know what I mean? I used to just sort of make a noise and then run away with the condom, be like, nah, yep, aye, it's all full of jizz. This, but
putting a crushed up Milky Way into it.
It's like very chunky semen you have there. It's very
It's a bag of magic stars.
midget gems.
I'm sorry to anybody who tuned in thinking I'd be playing FIFA. That's all I have to say.
It was because I had that thing. Because I've started now, I'll finish. But which is what I never used to say.
Yeah, maybe you won't. Yeah.
I had that thing where you couldn't roll your foreskin back. Do you know what I mean? So I couldn't feel anything.
What do you mean that thing?
Yeah,
is a
everyone's
thing.
got loads of people got it. Sure, I think. Oh, wait, no, I don't know if he's told people.
Tell you who don't.
Did you have it?
I don't know if he's told people.
No, I didn't even mean you. I think there's another
Or-
comedian has
yeah,
it too,
no, I
didn't he?
haven't,
But I don't know if they've said.
I've done stand-up about it.
Aye, me too. Like, but I couldn't really feel anything because it
This is all. This is like no.
Mine's looser than the family sleeping bag. Like mine's.
If you're ever
Do you know
homeless,
the-
you got a
like-
place to stay.
Yours is like a kid putting on a man's football.
Mine's like a sausage roll where they've overdone the pastry.
If you go around,
You're
the
like 2
corner,
bites in, there's still no sausage. That's fine.
If you go around the corner, people think there's burlesque. There's like a leg.
Mine's like, do you know when you put your head through the armhole of a jumper and the other one's just empty like that?
Do you do the thing with the jumper where you do the
like that.
But I used to be unable to roll it back, and then, like, so it would be which made it look very tidy, but not very sensitive. Do you know what I mean? It had, like, even whenever it came, it was never very powerful because it looked like it was tied at the end. It was like it wasn't like spin or
link,
swallow.
like
It
a
wasn't spin or
sausage link.
swallow. It was
Like when they dropped
sit,
the ring in the
sit.
Mount Doom, it just sort of like seeped over the sides.
But I ended up getting circumcised there in like 2013. I got it at my mid-20s, and did you get NHS?
I haven't had it done yet.
Have you not had it done
No.
yet?
Can you not
For
roll
real?
They
back,
basically look at me and go, "You're fuck, yeah."
Right? Oh yeah. Oh, doctors are terrible for that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll like you'll give it.
Dogs are terrible for not wanting to kill obese people.
I know, but like
I know what you mean, though.
You
I
can
wouldn't
walk in
kill
with
it.
like a
Get-
visible tumor, and they're like, "Oh, you need to lose a bit of weight."
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
that's not what it is, mate. It's the fucking tumor, you know. But
So you got an NHS.
NHS one, yeah, Crayola scissors, you know. That one mess. But they drove you to Mullingar for it. That's the thing. They don't do it.
Where is Mullingar?
It's Westmeath. It's middle of the country. So they put me on a bus with a load of other fellas.
It's weird that they're farming that out to the south. Though.
Yeah, yeah. What's that about?
Yeah,
There must be like a really
if you're
good dick
snipping
doctor.
it, you have to cross the border.
What was the conversation like on that bus?
Well, do you know what I found out? Everyone on the bus was getting dick-related operations. It was all vasectomies. There was circumcisions, and then there was one guy doing a sleep study. He was the only guy that stayed over now, but obviously. But
What do you mean he was doing a sleep study?
it was like if you've got sleep apnea or if you think you have sleep apnea, you have to sleep somewhere, and they measure
monitor
your,
you,
yeah.
yeah.
They measure your breathing and all
Oh, I
that.
thought it was dick related. So
No,
it's like
he was the only
his dick's
non-dick
waking up
related
at
guy.
night.
Yeah.
He was the only cheerful guy. Like when we stopped at Apple Greens on the way home, he's the only one that didn't get a McFlurry. Like he was peaceful, you know. But they took
The
me to
only one
Mullingar.
remained a man.
There's how very dare you, sir? I can come now. I'm more of a man than I've ever been. Apparently, that's what it takes to qualify masculinity. Jeez.
Oh my god!
But so that was
What a
the banter bus.
sensational!
That's what it was.
I feel like I know you too well now. Look, in some ways.
Do you know what was great though? I've never won. I'm not changing the subject. I never won a comedy competition except for when I did a competition the day after. It was like Sean Hegarty ran something in Barbacca a million years ago.
Fuck.
And
Barbacca.
that's the only time I've ever won a comedy competition because I'd done a bit about it.
Yeah.
I brought a bit with me apparently, but I'd done a bit about it. And in fairness, now I think I did do the best. I think I did earn it. But I also feel like even if I'd done shit, Sean would have been like, "You should be in bed, mate. Here's a prize." You know what I mean? He would have
Yeah.
been like, "You deserve this."
Unbelievable.
Hobbling up to the stage with fucking plastic stitches.
I
in
haven't
and all.
really done any competitions. I think I did one.
Dunbar.
I did one in Newcastle
No.
back in the day, and I know that it was like a cheer off thing,
Oh, they're shit
and
as well.
I won it. But
Oh, did you?
they gave me like it was like you weren't getting paid unless you won. So I won like £100 and like a wee plastic Oscar, and it was.
That's pretty great.
I think I lost the Oscar on the way home.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
serious?
but here, didn't lose that £100. Till I spent it on United the next day. Anyway, right. Well, I feel like we all know you very well now. This has been a lot of crack. Can I, just before we wrap here, University of Edinburgh jumper, where'd you get that? Probably in Scotland.
Edinburgh.
But what'd you get it for? Just for the crack?
I was running out of clothes in Edinburgh and I was very cold, bought a jumper.
It's a lovely jumper.
It's
to be
very
fair.
cozy.
It looks great.
It's very, like, inside's like all, like, sort of, like velvet, not velvety, like fur.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah.
what
Oh, Fleece Land.
Yeah,
Mate,
fleet,
Mate,
yeah.
check that. Ali does. Living the dream.
Very comfortable.
Well, do you have stuff? So, Willie, your new big show, I believe you're announcing it next week. This is going out on the 20th of February.
Okay.
There's an
yeah,
announcement coming. Can we say what it is?
we can't say what it is, but just pay attention.
Pay attention. Watch.
Just keep watching.
Be a wee Willie watcher next week.
Yeah, watch
and,
your Willy this
yeah.
week because there'll be a big show announced.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you want to plug in the meantime? Check out the Mudblood podcast.
My Edinburgh show might be announced by then too, so buy tickets to Edinburgh.
But if not, if nothing's announced, just keep watching.
Just keep watching. Just watch.
And do you have anything you want to talk about, Luke?
I mean, I do run that open mic in the Ormo Road, the Pavilion, Monday night comedy at the Pavilion every Monday night, 7:45 until I die or I can't. And if you follow me on Instagram,
Surely you dying would qualify as can't.
yeah, you die or can't. Yeah.
How good would you be if you were a ghost and you had to haunt the
Oh, I
pub?
had to keep setting it up.
I'd be fucking
Every
fuming.
week shifting some chairs around. I'm fucking watching your man up there promising not to suck my dick as well in the afterlife.
You're trying to flash them, but they can't see it. Oh, be shite.
But aye, there's
Unbelievable.
that, and then follow me on Instagram or TikTok. I put up some stand-up clips and some wee sketches there every now and
Great
again.
times.
Or
What's
there-
very
what's the
funny.
wee handle on that?
Who is Luke McGibb? It's because there was a presidential candidate a couple of years ago whose slogan was Google Gary Johnson because no one knew who the fuck he was. So it's literally Google me. So it's like
Who is Luke McGibbon?
Yeah.
Great times. Well, thanks, man, for coming in, for sharing that
Thank you
fucking
for having
story.
me.
Would love to have you back. It's been a great time. Yeah, I'm staring at the doogies. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Joxer now. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, no.